Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Nick. I am sitting here with the Mr. Ramone Russell from the MLB. He is a game designer and community manager. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Well, welcome. We're here playing a little MLB The Show 17.
Yes, we are.
And I am super excited because today is officially pitchers and catchers.
They report. It's baseball season.
Baseball is back.
It is baseball.
Finally. It feels good.
It feels good. Everybody's happy.
Here.
And we're super happy because we get to talk more about the game.
Absolutely. So right off the bat, what are we looking at here right now?
I am going to show you what we've been focused on graphically for the game this year. Every year there's always a focus. And in our postmortems last year after the game launch, we were kind of saying internally, you know, the stadiums and our atmosphere look really, really good. The players are maybe lagging behind a little bit. So let's focus on the players, real MLB players and specifically creator player. Those are the two main areas of focus graphically this year. And so we're looking at Mr. Robinson Cano here.
Who looks absolutely fantastic.
Who looks a lot better this year. So right off the bat, the first thing you'll probably notice is the eyes. We started from scratch from the eyes. Patrick Hager, John Ramsey, and the rest of the graphics team, they ripped the old eyeballs out and they started from scratch. The shape is better. The lighting is better on the eyes. And hopefully we've gotten rid of that, what we call ghost look, where the eyes just don't match correctly. So that's really, really important. So the eyes are fantastic this year. The lighting and the shadowing from them having on a baseball cap, that's a lot better this year. And also skin tones. Skin tones are always really important to us. And with our new lighting technology and things we've done there, the skin tones have more depth. You can see pores, just so much better. And that's not just with real players. All of these things go on to create a player. And we'll talk about that right now.
Fantastic. And I got to say, the facial hair is another thing that I always notice. And it looks fantastic.
So, and with the facial hair for real MLB players, our character team, which is, I think, 6 guys, that's like every strand of hair is hand painted. Like they hand paint like 750 players' hair, which is really fantastic. So, create a player, completely revamped. We got body types, the faces, the heads, the eyes, skin tones, everything's been changed. So the only thing I wouldn't really pay a lot of attention to is the skin tone palette. We're still working on that. This isn't the final version of what the skin tone palette would be like.
Right. So
last year or any other year, if you were playing Road to the Show and you'd see the fake guys, you could always tell them out. Like you could pick them out. They just looked bad. This year we're hoping you won't be able to tell who's a fake guy and who's a real guy. And I'm just going to start randomizing this guy so you can see all the granularity we have. So it's not just the faces, it's not just the skin tones, but body types is huge for us. So we have a new body type called Husky. We also have body model sliders. So you can elongate the spine for guys who look like Chris Sale, really long, really lanky.
Right.
You can shorten the spine. We have shoulder sliders. We've got a butt slider, y'all. we have a glute slider.
Slider for all.
So as I continue to randomize this guy, you can see there's so much more granularity in the type of body types and players that we're going to create.
Big fan of that stash.
Oh, you like that stash. So we'll start here.
Looks like Jason Worth already.
And so here's one of the sliders, which is collarbone and shoulder width. And this is something our fans have been asking for a very long time. You can see here there's much more you can do to make this guy really look unique. The next one is arms. You know, he's got some guns right now. And some people figured that out in the gameplay trailer. There was like, Jake Arrieta's arms are a lot bigger. You are correct. His arms are a lot bigger. And so I'm sitting here tweaking the sliders. So for all real MLB players, they've been hand-tuned. We've gone in, looked at reference photos. They've been hand-tuned.
Right.
You can't mess with them because they're real. But your guy, you can do whatever you want. And here's my favorite slider, the butt slider. You know, you can give them a little bit of donk if you want to, or you can take it away.
Yeah.
Yeah, the glute slider and the hip slider. So you can change this. We also have thighs. Some guys have much bigger thighs than others, so you can change this around. And we can hit the randomizer again and see what we end up with. Heads. Heads are hugely important for this year. Every other MLB The Show game, we shipped with 17 default heads.
Right.
And it was great for where we were, but this year we started from scratch. Bobby Fitzgerald, Gil Garcia, and our entire graphics and character team, they created 49 brand new archetype heads. And these 49 heads replace the 17. They're gone. And they're all based upon different ethnicities that you see in real life. Obviously, we have a few Caucasian American heads. We have a few African American heads. We have a few heads that are based on Asian territories and Dominican Republic and Puerto Rico and those territories as well. So
Fantastic.
You'll see, we'll just go through a few of these. You see there's much more granularity in what you can do now with the head shapes. And we'll just randomize it.
Incredible customization.
Yeah, and so you see, even with the randomizer, we're not getting any monsters. We're getting guys that look like real players. So Hairstyles started Hairstyles over from scratch. Every hairstyle in the game is brand new. And we're going to go to my favorite hairstyle, the Oscar Gamble.
Oh my God.
That Oscar Gamble Coco Chris Afro son. What you know, this is also one of my favorite hairstyles here. And again, you can change the color. We're still working on the color palette, so that'll be tweaked. And then facial hair is also really important. So facial hair I think we added about 22 new facial hair sets. And what we wanted to do was add some facial hair sets that you would see in real life, things that people have been wearing. We got some old school styles. Like this one is modeled like kind of after King Felix Hernandez. Yep. We have our beards are so much more granular now because not everybody has a straight beard. Some beards are more curly. Right. And so now we have those options. We have a few more unique things that you can see here. So we think people are really going to be able to create much better looking characters. And just like last year, you can combine and add on. You can mix and match some of the different beards and whatnot to create your own style of what you want to see in the game. Right. And some of these, I'll find another one, have new links. So you couldn't create a guy who looked like this in last year's game. And so we're really excited about that.
The increased customization is fantastic. I mean, the fact that you can combine two different beard styles to create something that's really unique is...
And see, we put a hat on this guy, and I think this doesn't look like a guy from MLB 16. Hopefully you feel the same way.
I agree. The hat customization is actually might be my favorite part of this whole part.
Right. Again, we're just randomizing. We're just going through randomizing, and these are the type of guys that you'll see in Road to the Show. And you can see here, these guys look so much better. And one more time, we'll go to the eyes. The eyes were a huge focus this year, and that is... create a player in a nutshell, but it's not just physical appearance. It's also personality. What we've done this year is, he's a pitcher. We got to make this guy not be a pitcher. Go back to personality, animations. We've now allowed you to have the ability to choose players' home run sequences. Last year, if you chose a guy batting stance, you got all of that, his home run and his home run swing, but you didn't get anything special that he had. Right. Now, if anybody has anything special, you can now choose that celebration package. And that's anything they do on base, anything they do at second base, third base, or home plate. So you can have Justin Turner's batting stance with King Griffey Jr.'s home run package. Right. And you can mix and match and do whatever you want there. And that is create a player.
And you can pick, I noticed, music as well.
Yeah, and you can always choose your music. Sounds of the Show comes back. We've also upgraded Sounds of the Show, so there are more slots and a few other things. So we're going to jump into retro mode. You wanted to see retro mode, right?
Yes, I would love that. I think that's a pretty... I mean, that's kind of how when I grew up, a lot of the games in the arcades were, one-button modes.
You're right. Great. And that's what... When we were thinking about the genesis of retro mode, we was like, one, it's got to be super simplistic. One button. So X is a swing. All your pitches are done with X. And you have 3 pitches. We boiled all the attributes down to fastball, changeup, and slider. Yep. But even though it's a one-button quick mode, all that depth is still there. All the animations we've added to the game this year, you'll see them in retro mode. Right. The graphical changes, you'll see those in retro mode. The hits per 9, the Ks per 9, home runs per 9, those are still working behind the scenes. So even though it's a one-button mode, you're still getting all of those advances from MLB The Show 17. So something we haven't really talked about a lot is, you can move the batter around in the batter's box, and the pitcher can do the same on the pitching mound. This is not just cosmetic. This actually affects plate coverage, and there's some new ball physics. We saw there, a little bloop single. And if you don't find the ball with the bat, you're going to miss it. So even though it's one-button mode, there's still that depth there that people have come to know and love from MLB The Show.
And you were mentioning ball physics.
Right.
I heard there's new things about liners up, left field line or right field line. Those will now curve.
Yeah, we have our ball physics code has really, really been taken to the next level by Jeff MacArthur, one of the lead programmers. The way the ball physics code used to work was we were modeling the code and the physics as if the round baseball were hitting a wall, which was okay. It gave us fantastic hit variety, but not the best hit variety.
Right.
We were missing a few. So now with the new code, our ball physics is based on a round ball hitting a round bat. So the height of the batter, where the pitch is, the location, the spin, atmospheric elements, temperature, all those things affect the spin of the ball. And what that does is it gives us more hit variety, like bloop singles, Texas leaguers, and especially those slicing hits down the line.
Yep.
Where that ball will hit the line, stay fair, but it'll start to tail off. And those you just didn't see at all in last year's version of the game or any other version of the game. So
absolutely,
when I was talking to Jeff and I asked him, I was like, so how monumental is this change? I was like, give me a number. Like, what's the hit variety like? And he was like, it's easily in the hundreds of thousands of new hits, maybe even into the millions. So you're going to be playing this game 10 months in, and you're still going to be seeing new hit types, the ball landing in new spaces that you never would have seen before. And we're really excited about that because we want people to play this game till the season's over with.
Absolutely, yeah. And I mean, there's a ton of games, all year long. And so if you're playing franchise mode, obviously, you're going to be playing a ton. So keep that unique. So it's essentially the ball now reacting to hitting a round bat. They've finally kind of created in the game environment.
Yes, we have some very, very talented and smart programmers
there you go.
At the studio. And there's a perfect example, which means I'm going to give up a run.
But
perfect example of the new ball physics.
Time for that to happen.
Perfect example. Actually, we'll go on a replay and look at that hit over again. Also which we would do, but it's not in retro mode. I should know that. I'll work on this game.
I was going to say retro mode number 1 looks fantastic.
Thank you. So this camera we created just for retro mode. You can use it in the regular version of the game. People have been saying they really like this camera, but you can use it anywhere in the game. Also, another thing is, with retro mode, it's old school OSDs. You have the ball whistle. During strikeouts, you can see people break the bat, and all those things are specific to retro mode.
Right.
I can get double play here. Nope. And I know you want to take some hacks. Go ahead.
Oh,
no, you don't want to get in? That's because I'm going to give up. This is a double.
Oh, boy, it's
that's a problem. That's a problem.
Off the ivy.
Yeah, I'm not doing so well here. So that's retro mode, which we're going to jump out of because I'm losing and we'll get the regular version of the game.
If I was holding the controller, it would be a lot worse.
All right, we'll let him put the ball in play one more time.
Cool. Little blooper, nice.
Little blooper, and that is retro mode. And so here we are in a regular game. Gameplay's king. Gameplay has always been king with MLB The Show, and this year is no different. We focused on a lot of things. Most importantly, it was things that we thought we were weak at. So we already talked about ball physics. What we also really wanted to look at was fielding. There were some situations where shortstops and second basemen were maybe taking a little bit too much time to throw. Right. So we have a brand new catch and throw engine. Did I just hit a home run? That's a double. So we have a brand new catch and throw engine, and we also have this thing called Humanity AI. And what both of those things do in conjunction is when, let's say, Billy Hamilton is up at the plate, the computer knows that that's Billy Hamilton. He has a 99 speed. On a ground ball, if you take your time, he's going to be safe.
Right. So
because they're conscious of that, they're going to get the ball out quicker. If it's somebody, let's say Anthony Rizzo or Miguel Cabrera, who isn't, they're not running the 4.3 40.
Right.
They know they'll have a little bit more time, and they'll take a pump and then throw the ball. And those things are really important because in real baseball, you'll see the guys, they know that. They'll take their time when they need to, and when they can't take their time, they'll throw the ball. So the reason we need to have that, not just for game balance, is for realism. So it looks real. If every single time somebody put the ball in play and they were running a million miles down to first base, that wouldn't be realistic. The baseball season is long. Miguel Cabrera, if he busted out to first base every time he makes contact, that's going to wear him down.
Right.
If he knows he's going to be out, he's going to jog. So our batters know that, and they'll jog when they need to. If they think it's going to be a bang-bang play or they know they're going to be safe, they're busting out of there running full speed.
Absolutely.
And animations is also huge for us every year. Every year we add hundreds of animations. This year it's over 1,000, and these are catches, dives, double play turns. We have so many more animations out of branching from different positions, and you're going to be seeing new animations 10 months down the line. And people that they ask me on Twitter, like, is it really 1,000 animations? Yes. I go into Chris Clements' office. He's the lead animator, and every year I sit down with him like, okay, how many new animations do we have? And he'll pull up that Excel file, and we'll highlight every single new animation, and then we'll count them.
Yep.
So when we say there's 1,000 new gameplay animations,
You're not
I'm
lying.
dead serious. I'm not lying.
Now, do these animations include the team-specific celebrations? For example, the Red Sox outfielders.
So those are actually separate. So those aren't even in that animation core that we're looking at. But there is a lot more player-specific and team-specific celebrations and animations this year.
Right.
Like we've added all of the win dance repeat dances that the Red Sox do. We've added a few things that the Chicago Cubs do. We have a lot of stuff for the Texas Rangers or any team that we could get info on. If they did something special when they have a home run or a double or a rally, we motion capture that and try to put it into the game.
Which is awesome.
Yeah, we think
so
people
many
really
quirks
like it.
and special things that are so unique to the MLB, and it's something that makes it feel more realistic when you see it in a game like the show.
Yeah, we need the guys to look like they look in real life, play like they play in real life, and react like they would react in real life. Like, player emotion is really, really important to us.
Yeah, for sure.
It's not going to be able to get that one. Also, we've updated all of our pitching meters, so now you see we're giving you time and feedback. So this is something that we've introduced to, one, take the guesswork out of, like, was I really close to hitting the sweet spot? And two, for newcomers to the game, it's a little bit easier for them to understand, oh, okay, I missed the sweet spot, I was perfect, I was very early or late.
Kind of like the way you get feedback from batting.
Indeed, exactly. So it's just like the PCI and the swing analysis for pitching.
Always loved Hayward's stance.
And Hayward has a new stance. There's actually over 350 new batting stances and recaptured batting stances this year. Hayward has a new one. I think we found a video of him training a few months ago, took that into the motion capture facility, and that's how he got his new stance.
Yep.
See, Anthony Rizzo's not wearing shades. We finally fixed that. He doesn't wear shades in the summertime.
I know everybody's probably going to be most excited for probably one of the most legendary stances in all of baseball, the man gracing the cover of your game.
Yeah, Ken Griffey Jr. stance is in the game. It's him. If you've seen the Vote motion capture video, you know that's him doing his stance. You can get his stance. You can get his home run package. It's all there in the game. And there are so many packages you can choose from to help your creative player, any guys that you're creating, really stand out in the crowd. So another thing I'll show is, haven't really talked about this, is, every year graphically, we're always focusing on a few things. And in PlayStation 3, it took us about 5-6 years to get to graphical maturity. And that was all based on a yearly plan. Like every year we worked on a different section of the game. This year is no different. We're now in that third or fourth year of that plan, and the stadiums look really good. Now we're moving on to the players. Another thing we did was we wanted the grass to really react like it does in real life. So Patrick and the graphics team, when you go to a real MLB game, the patterns that you see, they're created by them mowing the grass differently. Right. And because the grass blades are facing a different direction, the sun hits it, creates those shadows, and that's what creates that contrast. We've had that in the game for years, but it was fake. What would happen is the dark areas of the grass, they were just darker.
Right.
Now we're actually using real code to simulate what you see in real life. So now our grass blades are just like you see in real life. So as I move the camera and the sun changes, you'll see that the patterns will change as well. And this was a huge task, something that did not, this took a long time for them to get into the game. But it's just something else that makes the game look a little bit more real. Absolutely. And you'll see them change in gameplay when you're playing and putting the ball in play.
Especially with stadiums like, again, the Red Sox, who sometimes do some wild kind of creative.
Yeah, they do some wild, crazy.
I'm a Yankee fan, so
you're a Yankee fan. Not too many for the Yankees.
But, what are you going to do? Does the ball itself react differently depending on the weather?
Yes.
Game?
Yeah, atmosphere, temperature, all those things affect the ball. Whether it's on dirt or grass, those things affect the spin. Hopefully we're leaving no stone unturned. None whatsoever.
Would you say that the grass might have been the most graphically challenging improvement from the last installment? Or was this more so
I think it was.
player?
It probably everything, especially the body sliders. The lighting on the face, the skin tones. Redoing Creative Player was a humongous task. Our development team is only about 80 people now. We're a relatively small team for a yearly cycle, and those guys really work their butts off every single year to continue to push this game to where we eventually want it to get.
Right.
And this year is hopefully no different. It's a nice little hit.
Failed dive. Looks super realistic.
And that's gameplay. Also, we've really worked on bunting. Bunting was a sore spot. It's not going to be as easy as it was before. If a guy can't bunt, it's going to be much, much tougher for him than the guys who can. Oh, there's a perfect little bloop hit that he caught. Seeing tons of new ball fixes even in this quick little interview.
Yep. I know. I feel like everything we've been talking about, then it happens, which is great. Are all the old pitching kind of, I don't know how you say it, models still around, like the analog stick?
Yeah, so analog pitching still in the game. Post pitching is still there. So is classic pitching.
Broken bat. Schwarber's stance.
Not a huge fan. And you see his body model and his body type. It's been tuned. It's been hand tuned. That looks more like he would look in real life. You could cross-reference that with 16. I bet you'll see a difference. Also, some other people picked up on, we have new catcher setup animations. So all of the catchers won't set up the same way. We have a few different styles.
Right.
And that might not be coming.
Could be gone.
That's gone. That is gone. But it's a foundation year. It's going to be really awesome. We think there's something for everybody. The MLB The Show 17. Remember, it comes out March 28th. Go pre-order now.
Are there different versions when it's released?
Yes. So we have the Digital Deluxe version, which is only on the PlayStation Store. We have the Hall of Fame edition, which comes with a special New Era 5950 hat. Ooh. It's the only way you can get that hat. They're never releasing it again. It's in limited quantities. It will sell out. That's available exclusively at GameStop. We have the MVP edition, which we've done in the past. You can get that digitally or from your local retailers, and that's about it.
Fantastic. I know I'm really looking forward to the game coming out, and I'm just looking forward to having baseball back in my life, to be honest.
So are we.
So thank you so much again, and keep it right here on GameSpot for all your MLB The Show 17 news.